Happy Wine Wednesday. It's me, Brian, once again back with you on this very, very snowy day. Hopefully you're safe. My son just informed me he rear-ended somebody on the way home today, so looks like our insurance will be going up just a little bit. Hey, Valentine's Day is coming up on Sunday, gentlemen. Hopefully you're not hearing this for the first time. So today the prize could help you because for your Valentine's Day needs, Kroger certainly has everything you could possibly ask for. How about $35 to spend at Kroger? Yeah. So if you're here watching this, whether it's live or on demand, let me know because I'm going to pick somebody to win that $35 Kroger gift card. And it's actually part of the Valentine's Day prize that we're giving away with Bloomhouse roses and strawberry, chocolate dipped strawberries. They have all that stuff. They got the candy, they got the chocolate, they got the groceries. It's Kroger. So let's go Krogering for Valentine's Day. Hello, Rhonda. Hello, Heidi and Debbie and Kathy. So let's talk Riesling. You probably have seen it in the stores. Generally, it's very cheap. Generally, it is not very good. I'm here to talk to you about German Riesling. Hello, Lisa. Because it's the best. It just is. They've been making Riesling in Germany since the 1200s. So going on 1,000 years, my goodness. You think they picked up a thing or two. And in particular, one family has been making really, really good German Riesling for a very long time. Since 1660, as a matter of fact, the Selbach family. Hello, Elise. Elise says I could use that card for my parents' anniversary gift on Valentine's Day. They got married on Valentine's Day? How romantic is that? Sure. So today the wine we're trying is a Riesling from the Selbach family, which started in 1660. Check this out. In Germany, the Selbach people were harvesting Riesling grapes, putting it in oak barrels constructed by Cooper Matthias Oster. And that is the name of the company, Selbach-Oster. And they've been doing it since 1660, and they are literally one of the 100 best wineries in the world, and they make the best Riesling in the world. Hello, Elizabeth. Riesling is my fave, she says. All right, so if you've never had quality German Riesling before, you really haven't had good Riesling. They make it really well, and it kind of happened by accident when you think about it. Let's go back, shall we, to the 1200s and the steep slate slopes of the Mosel River Valley. Hello, Marcia. She says Riesling is my favorite white wine. Heinemann Winery. Ah, yeah, Heinemann. They make pretty good wine. So the steep slate slopes of the Mosel River Valley. The slopes are so steep that nothing else will grow. And it is rocky, rocky slopes. You can't get up there and make wheat or corn. You can't even really have animals up there because it is so steep. But vines grow there. And by coincidence, these very, very steep slopes, and I'll give you an example. I came prepared with lots of visual aids, and I was trying to get our color printer to work, and of course, today, it doesn't work. So you're going to have to settle for black and white. But this is an example of the Mosel River Valley. And you can see the vineyards on the slope in black and white. Sorry. And there's the Mosel River. It is a magical place. And let me just describe it for you. Imagine you looking out your window on the valley below. The mountains surround you. The river looks glistening. It's bright. It's unbelievably, impossibly green. It's springtime. I want to go outside, you say to yourself. So you throw on a t-shirt and some jeans. You go outside and you quickly run back inside because it is cold. Grab a sweater, maybe two. You go outside and then you can kind of enjoy it. But as you get higher, as you walk up these steep slopes, it gets pretty warm. It is a cold weather climate, and the slopes with, let me show you this too, with the big gravelly slate slopes. Look at all that rock just sort of hanging out. It's really too cold to grow really, really ripe grapes there unless you have these south-facing slopes and the slate actually heats up during the day, so you get an even greater warmth to ripen it during the day. But then we talk about this a lot. The shift, the diurnal shift at night gets really cold. And what that does is it preserves the crispness, the freshness of the grapes, and that increases the acidity which helps this wine to age. You've got two factors that really help a wine to get better over time. One is acidity, because it's like a preservative. It keeps it fresh. The other is tannins. Red wine has tannin. That's what makes it age very well. We talked about tannins last week, I believe. The other one for white wines is acidity. So you've got this really beautifully fruity, sweet wine that is balanced perfectly by acidity. And you can lay down these really, really good wines, these Rieslings from Germany, for a long time. And over time, it becomes more mellow and the flavors are just incomparable. And that is why some of these wines are some of the most sought after in the world. But the wine we're having today is not one of those. I mean, it's a very good wine. It is actually 92 points from Robert Parker, but this is not something you'd buy for $1,000. You'd buy this for about 20. Selbach-Oster Kabinett 2017 Riesling from the Mosel River Valley. So what makes this good? Well, again, it's balance. As Mr. Miyagi says, balance, not just for karate, but whole life. You want it to be balanced. You can't have just a sweet wine. I mean, it may taste okay, but it's like you're in a club and you see this beautiful person dancing beautifully next to you. And then you start talking to them and you realize they have nothing to say. One note. That is not somebody you make your lifetime partner. Same thing with wine. You want more than just one note. Sweet wines are fine, but there's got to be more to it. There's got to be complexity. And the beauty of German Riesling is just that. It's complex. It has more. It's got beautiful tropical fruit flavors like pineapple and peach, and it's got honey, but it also has bright citrus, and it's got a tingly minerality to it. There's a lot that happens when you drink a really good German Riesling. Hello, Mary and Lisa and Brooke. And I just think it's one of those happy accidents that in a place where nothing else would really grow, that nothing else could be cultivated, some of the best wine vines, grapevines in the world, grow there. And it's too cold to grow anywhere else, really. But because of the cold, you make some of the best wines, white wines, in the world. Pretty cool, right? So 92 points for this particular wine. Let's take a look at the color. And I've got a funny story to tell you about something that I brought up a few weeks ago on this show. So look at this. It's a nice straw color. Isn't that beautiful? And it's as it ages, it's going to get a little bit more yellow. But again, everything in balance. That's what you're looking for. And again, in such a cold place, you don't expect to smell tropical fruit flavors, but you do with this one. I've got primarily green apple, but also honey and melon, like a honeydew melon, and a little bit of pear. They say that stone fruits are kind of common with really good Riesling. And this is let's talk also about the flavor characterizations. Like when you look at the labels of German wine, it's so confusing. Oh my gosh! So where they do it well in the Mosel, you're going to find terms like Kabinett or Spätlese or Auslese. What does that mean? How does it relate to the wine that I'm getting? If you like sweet wines, then you're probably going to want to find a Spätlese, because what that means is late harvest, and the grapes really get ripe and they stay on the vine a little bit longer, so you've got more residual sweetness. If you want a really sickeningly sweet wine, but again balanced with a little bit of acidity, then the Auslese is the berry select harvest, is what that means. And to the point where they have the best berries on the vine and they're left to almost rot. There's something called noble rot, where a little bit of a fungus grows, but it increases the sweetness of the grape, and it's a good thing. You may want to try that if you really like the sweet dessert type wines. But if you're looking for something crisper, something that is not sickeningly sweet but balanced, try the Kabinett, Kabinett. So how does this one taste? Let's find out. Okay, this is a little bit sweet, but again, my mouth starts to water because it's got a little bit of that acidity too, in balance. I'm tasting peach and pear for sure. Oh, it's got just a really nice zingy finish. Let's see, minerality comes in at the very last part, and then you've got a little bit of the citrus. Any white wine you're going to have citrus, but all of this going on at once. So you can drink this by itself and it's going to taste great, but also you can pair this really well with spicy food. Try it with Thai food. It also goes really well with chicken. If you're just looking for a chicken dish and you don't want something that's going to overpower it. Riesling, a good Riesling. If you're looking for a decent American Riesling, I talked about Kung Fu Girl before. That's pretty good. It's made in the German style, kind of the drier style. Elizabeth says a Riesling pairs well with dessert. Yeah, the sweeter ones do. I wouldn't try this one, a Cabernet with a sweet one, but if you want to try one of the Spätlese or Auslese, that would work very well with white chocolate, milk chocolate, sure. And with Valentine's Day coming up on Sunday, definitely something to try. So, Cabernet, if you're looking for something, I kind of look at Cabernet like Brut. It's kind of like dry with a little bit of sweetness, but the Germans just do it better than anybody else. And Riesling from the Mosel River Valley is where you should try. They make pretty decent wines in the Rheingau too, but I prefer the Mosel just because of the slate soil and everything it brings to the wine. It just is something special. What's interesting also, I did a Gewürztraminer a few weeks ago from the Alsace region, which is just up the river, same river. They call it the Moselle in France, just down, I guess it would be. And they make decent Riesling there too, but really the Mosel River, M-O-S-E-L, is where you got to find the best Rieslings in the world. Elise said, love Kung Fu Girl. Yeah, I think I saw a picture of you with that wine, as I recall. Brooks says, so it's a lot going on with the flavor. Yes, I say that a lot, don't I? I tend to fall back on things like, oh, there's a lot going on. Yeah, I like that though. So here's my funny story. You ready? Remember when I talked about the Corvin, that device that keeps wine fresh and you can just sort of needle through the cork and take out a glass, but the wine is preserved as if it had not been opened for months and maybe even a year in some cases. Well, I was all excited, so I brought it to a small gathering recently. And what makes this thing work is a little canister of a capsule, really, of argon gas. And you punch in the needle through the cork and you take your glass full, and the argon seals up the cork again when you pull it out. So I was all excited to show it to my friends, and I took it in and poured it, and it started to immediately leak out onto me. And then I thought, well, that's weird. Why is this happening? I did it again. And then I spilled some more on this poor woman's table. And I was confused, but luckily I had the capsule with me, and I thought, okay, well, I'll just make a real demonstration now that I've got the actual capsule and it's full, because I'd used it too much. So I realized then that I was putting another hole in, but the first hole was still there, so I poured it again and continued to spill most of this bottle of wine onto the table. The best laid plans, right? Hello, Margie. She said, love the color and sounds. Have to try this one. Yes, please do. Heidi says, it looks like it tastes amazing. It does. And again, it's sweet, but it's balanced with tingly acidity. And you serve it chilled, and it's great by itself, but pair it with Thai food. Oh my goodness. We actually had it, my wife and I had it last night with a little bit of salsa and some chips, and that was good too. And I'll tell you one more thing. I went to the store and I tried to find several varieties of Mosel River Riesling to pick the best one. And this was the best one. So once again, of the 4 that we tried last night, number 1 on the list, Selbach-Oster, Cabernet, 2017, 92 points from Robert Parker, one of the most revered wine critics in the world. I trust that guy. So anyway, that's my Wine Wednesday story. What's yours? Let me know you're here. Tell me that you watched this. Give me a like, because tomorrow I'm going to pick somebody to win that $35 Kroger gift card, which we will be mailing direct to you. So let me know that you're here, that you watched it, whether it was live or on delay. Oh, one more question. Susan says, "What is tingling acidity?" It's that it's almost like it buzzes on your tongue a little bit, and it sort of makes your mouth water just a little bit. That's what the acidity does, and it balances that sweetness of the fruit. And I love that. I love it. And if there's a wine that you want me to try to talk about, if there's something that you feel I haven't addressed on this program, please let me know in the comments. And also, if you've missed some of these broadcasts, I just figured out a way that I can download the Facebook Live videos and put them on YouTube. So be looking for the Warm YouTube channel if you want to catch up on some of these reviews. Maybe there's a wine in particular you're looking for. That will soon be searchable on our YouTube page, which you can get to from warm985.com. Brooke, Lisa, Kathy, thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you next week on Wine Wednesday Live. Drive safe.